So today we're going to start the series where, because we're starting a Sensing Hands tournament, you need to know what Sensing Hands will be working on. And the first one, the most easiest one that people know about, is Young Style, but it's not easy. Actually, people get it wrong a lot, and they don't realize that they're getting it wrong. Case in point. All right, so when you're doing Young Style Sensing Hands, you want your back foot to be on a 45-degree angle and your front foot facing towards your person, right? So say we're here, and this foot is angled like this angled up towards that, like from the hip, angled towards there, right? If I was doing Chen Style, or Old Young, it could be on the 180. It'd be 180 degrees. So the foot is straight out this way, and one foot is straight this way, right? But we're doing Young Style the way when Young Lu Chen had actually altered it, and so the foot is 45 degrees. So 45 degrees going this way. So you have your one hand here, and you have your one hand here. We're just going to do one hand first, right? And so all you do is one person turns over, they push towards your chest, you relax, turn, and you push towards their chest. That's simple. The whole thing is to actually feel and bring yourself into oneness with your movement. That's it. Nothing more. You just want to boom here, and as this person comes to turn, boom here, and then boom here. Boom. Just like that. Boom. Boom here. Boom. Boom. That's it. That's all you want to do. If you notice, when it comes back, the arm is at a 45-degree too, matching the foot. Boom. Here. Boom. Boom. Here. See? Nice, light. Feel me? Turn it around. That's it. If you add another hand, to the elbow. You want to make sure it's like this, not like this, because this will actually draw the elbow into you. You want it to be here to smother the elbow. So when a person goes to thing, you're going here, and you're going here, and you're going here, and you're going here. It's real simple. Well, it's simple. It didn't say it was easy. It's just real simple. So boom, boom, boom. If you're doing it correctly, you'll notice when you come back, you should have your head over your arm so that you have the curvature C. So when the person pushes in, you can just turn it off. If you are like this when you go to do it, the person will go and knock you over off your center. Because the 45-degree spine angle is different from the 180-degree spine angle. 45-degree spine angle is slightly inclined, which is the reason, and why the reason that is because that's the natural straight for the 45-degree angle. That's why when you look at Wu Style, which he transformed into, when it has the legs going straight, he's much like this. Because that angle with the spine is actually straight. We actually have to be according to the feet, how the spine works. If you go against it, you can cause problems with your hips, cause problems in your knees. And I know many Young stylists, I know many Chen stylists, I know many Wu stylists who have those issues. They have to get hip replacements, knee replacements, because they continuously believe that you can use the same spine alignment for Chen style as you do for Young and for Wu. And that is not correct. You use the straight back for 180 degrees. That's here. And if you go in here in 100 degrees, you also, for 180 degrees, it's like this. Boom. See? It's got that boom, see? And it doesn't have the 45 thing like here. No, it has this. Boom. 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 See? It's this pan. This pan. And that's because the foot is this way, so this part of the body stays straight up. If a person comes in on it, he goes to push, it's straight up. Now if I do this on that, go ahead, push it up. See? Right. Because the spine's incorrect. The spine has to be at a very specific angle for each foot placement. 180 degrees like chin, your back is completely straight. Like military straight. 45 degree, young, your back is slightly angled forward. Small in the back. Straight like woo, your back is fully angled forward. Like a slant. If you do it any other way than that, you will end up having hips and knees and lower back problems. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Pay attention to your teacher's foot placement. But also be careful of your own foot placement, because you can damage yourself if you do it incorrectly. And I've seen many Tai Chi, many young Wu Chin. I've also seen people who've done Bagua, who've done Xingyi, because they think the back is supposed to be aligned a certain way, but you're using the feet in a different alignment and not allowing your back, the small of your back, to naturally align with your footsteps. And so therefore the tension goes into the knee or goes into the hips, destroying the cartilage and causing you to need hip replacements and knee replacements and all types of other things that go along with that. Okay? Alright. So, just that. Right? So we're doing young style, right? So, young style, 45 degree, 45 degree, 45 degree. You just want metric circle. Just like this. Boom. Just like that. Boom. Metric circle. Boom. Boom. And you do not want to let go. Boom. In this tournament, you are not allowed to let go. Any letting go or disconnecting in the technique, and it's not counted. If you have to wind up and then start, it is not correct. You actually have to learn how to stay stuck to the person naturally in the technique. Here. Feel me? Even if you're using the back and forth, say you're using the back and forth, like the heel come up, you still have to stay connected and using it correctly. You may say, but Eric, there's this lean going forward. Yeah, but it's straight because the angle is that way. The angle's not this way. If you notice the feet, the angle literally goes this way. And that is the proper angle. Kind of like you're about to pounce on something. That's the proper angle. Literally, it comes here, and it comes that way. Literally, that way. But it pans out to go straight. It's like, whoop, boom, to go straight. Kind of like you're doing Fair Lady work shuttles. Right? That's the proper, because you have a 45 degree in the back, and you have a straight going forward. So that is young style in its most simplest that I've explained it to you. You know, but you have to take your time and go slow. This comes back. This comes forward. It's not by my arms. It's by my body. You know? Boom. Just relax. Nothing more than that. Doesn't have to be violent. And it shouldn't be violent. Real power should be subtle. It should not be something huge that you see. I mean, you see the guys who are doing all the shaking and whoa, you know, even in Tai Chi. That's not really high-level skill. I'm sorry. I mean, granted, I understand. You look at it and you go, oh, there goes the Fa Jing. Fa Jing is, you can't see Fa Jing. Fa Jing is actually the result. Is the result of the power. So say I come up and I get Chris here, right? And all I do is here. I got you. That, boom, that's the Fa Jing. That's the Fa Jing. No matter how many times I come and I go, here, you go, oh, that's the structure of Fa Jing is the actual activation of that energy properly by transferring the energy into the person. And it's not outwardly seen. It's not outwardly seen. Even if I do it slow, like, even if I do it slow, I'm like, boom, boom, boom. I come here, Chris, I go, boom. You still get it. So it's slow. And you still do it slow. So if you can't do it slow, if you have to, boom, in order to make it, it's not Fajing. You're just doing something slow faster. You're just doing something slow faster. Real Fajing is effortless. You don't feel the person inside of your palms at all, because all of your power is transferred into the person, which is the reason why the person goes boom and goes flying backwards. But everybody wants to get it like McDonald's. Everybody wants it to happen overnight. Oh, I want it to happen overnight, so I'm willing to shove, I'm willing to push in order to make it seem as though I have Fajing. But the reality of it is that 9 times out of 10, most people do not have Fajing. They have something that looks like Fajing, but it's not really Fajing. Because if you can't do it slow, and if you can't do it to everybody, then guess what? That's not it. Because in order to get Fajing, there are a lot of prerequisites in order to get proper Fajing. A lot of prerequisites. There's a lot of adhering. There's a lot of listening. There's a lot of leading by following. You know, sensitivity stuff that works, that you have to take care of. And that takes, oh my God, may I say it, years. It does not take a weekend. It does not take even a year. It takes years to apply it. Years. Now, if you want to be like everybody else, and you want to be like all the other people who just go out there punching and hitting and stuff like that, then go take MMA. Go take some regular school and just learn how to kick and fight until your heart's content, until everybody's bloody, and you can feel like you've accomplished something. But that's not what the internal schools are about. The internal schools are about power. They're about real physics and power, higher level skills of understanding the physical form. And it literally is, in the higher levels, about being able to, if we were martial, if we were in combat, being able to kill somebody with one hit. That's why you have sports. Sports so that everybody can come in, enjoy it, and then go home. That's not martial. Martial is not sport. Martial is real life training. How do I kill this person as quickly as possible, or break something as quickly as possible, as being a small person, because the Chinese were super small compared to everybody else, as a small person, in order so that we're not taken over by bigger and stronger people. But being bigger people and stronger people, we tend to believe when you're doing Tai Chi that when you're using the muscle and stuff like that, that you're doing it correctly. Oh, I'm doing it right. No. If you can't do it effortlessly, when you go to launch somebody, or not say when you go to launch somebody, when someone gets launched from you, if you had the idea that I want to launch this person, you're not doing it correctly. If you have the thought of I'm trying to get rid of this person, you're not doing it correctly. When you go beyond the aspect of I'm trying to get rid of that person, when it becomes more about energy and how to stay centered and be one with the person who is next to you, and it happens of its own accord, that kind of power cannot be duplicated. That kind of power cannot be duplicated. It is beyond all aspects. And unfortunately, because most of us are oh man, I want to do it now. I want to be like the ancients of old and be like, I want to do it in one lifetime and not give up and not put in all the bitter practice that is needed. And when I say bitter training, I don't mean training 8 hours a day. I'm talking about training correctly. Training correctly saves you having to practice 8 hours a day. You can train correctly 2 to 3 hours a day and be good as long as you're consistent. And that's the thing, because when you're doing this kind of workout, it's not easy. Like, it's not easy. Real practicing Tai Chi, sensing hands for real, you get tired because you have to fight against the thought process of, I want to muscle this person. I want to get rid of this person. I'm not thinking about getting rid of him. Chris doesn't feel any kind of thing that he should be worried about, right? You don't feel like, oh my God, he's about to take me. No, not at all. Why? Because I'm not thinking about that. All I want to do is stay centered. That's it. So, boom, here, we're going boom, here, boom. That's all I want to do. Doesn't matter. I want to stay in my own center. I'm like minding my own business. Now, when the guy goes to attack you, you stay, boom, you just stay centered. Mind your own business. The only reason why we're here is not because I tried to do it. Chris actually took that angle and I redirected that angle, staying on my own angle. That's it. And so then I come back, boom. Now, as long as he doesn't fight it, he goes right back on his center. But it's when the person tries to fight it and get tense when the issue comes into play. That's when you get the fudging. Not because I'm trying to get rid of him, but because he has fear. And he became tense, and because he became imbalanced, and so therefore there were a meeting of forces. I had the whole planet beneath me. He, just his arm, or just his strength in his legs, or just strength in his, his body. And so therefore you get this huge explosion from it. And when I say, okay, because that sounds esoteric, right? So when I say the earth, when I have everything with me, when a person goes to throw a punch at you, or throw a force at you, that force can be captured. Tai Chi likes capturing a person's force and adding it to itself. Centrifugal and centripetal force. It uses that. But you know how many years it takes you to relax and be like, okay, I'm not going to use strength. Every time this dude goes to press, I'm just going to let it come into me and roll off of me. See, when he comes here, you see that? Boom, that big swing there, that brings a lot of force. That brings a lot of force. That's me grabbing onto his force, wrapping it in the right physics, movement of physics, and bringing it back to him. I already weigh 280, 300 pounds. And then I grab onto the amount of weight that he put into his attack and add it to my attack, staying on the same trajectory that he wanted to give it back to him. So not only am I using my 300, I'm also using his 100 or 50 or his 200 pounds that he uses to come at me with. So I'm coming back at him with over 400 pounds. Now granted, 300 pounds is enough for anybody. I hit you with 300 pounds, solid, it's a done deal. But in order to do that, I have to be totally relaxed, and I have to use my fluid dynamics, which is what sensing hands teaches you, as well as the form. But in order to get to that place, you have to be willing to let go. You have to be willing to let go of the tension and be like, yeah, oh yeah, I got here, Chris got me jammed up here, I have to learn how to relax. Boom. Feel me? And it's not because I'm trying to get rid of him. I literally have to stay on that track to stay one with him. I do not want to ever be separate from him. Even if we do come apart, I want to make sure when he steps forward, I step either backward or forward at the equal amount. Because I'm so into him that we're not separate. And if he's a true martial artist, and not saying that Chris isn't, I'm talking about another opponent, because Chris is. But another opponent will look at it, another martial artist will look at it and go, ooh, wait, I know that. You're like matching me for match. Which means me attacking you is I have to find a way to have you unmatch me, because if you don't unmatch me, then I'll never be able to attack you and be successful with an attack. Because you're just mirroring me, mirroring my energy and bringing it back to me. And so therefore, those are the higher levels of studying under physics, the physics of studying it. But so many people fail. They fail so bad because they just want to jump out there and fight. They just want to jump out there and fight. If you just want to fight, go to MMA. If you just want to fight, go and learn something else. But Tai Chi, Xing Yi, Bagua, Wing Chun, all those skills, they're scientific. They talk about angles and all that kind of stuff. And you actually have to apply them to friends. So if you're a Tai Chi practitioner, Xing Yi practitioner, Bagua practitioner, any skill that has internal development in it, grab your friends who know MMA. Grab your friends who know boxing. Grab your friends who know Muay Thai. Grab your friends who know different kicking skills and practice with them. And if you get your head knocked off because you did something incorrect, that doesn't mean you drop your art. That just means you're not good at that skill. Which means, guess what? You practice it again. And you practice it again until you're able to the concept, the energetic concept in combat. But if you're so egotistical that you can't lose with dignity and understand that you're just not good at understanding that, and that you should practice it under different aspects in order to have friends, because you have friends. We all have friends who do other types of martial arts, who do other type of pugilistic arts. And you're going to have to learn how to use your individualized martial art to be able to attack and defend against that friend's technique. And guess what? They'll learn how to defend against yours too, which is what true warriors do. True warriors aren't about, I'm supposed to go and beat up every dude that's weaker than me. A true warrior doesn't do that. A true warrior seeks out only those who are equal to or better than they are, because they're actually trying to get to a higher state of understanding physics within the body. So, if you're not good at Tai Chi in combat or in defending yourself, don't drop it. Go with your friends and be like, okay, well, I want to use this. I need to know the timing. So, bro, can you help me? Jab at me. Like, jab at me, punch me until I get it right. And it's okay if I get knocked on my ass, because guess what? I'm here to learn in the first place. I'm not here to be ego. I'm not here to be like, oh, I can kick your ass and I can kick everybody's ass with my skill. There's always going to be somebody who's better. Whether you're internal or whether you're external, whether you're boxing, whether you're MMA, whether you're Tai Chi, no matter what. There's always going to be somebody who's better. But that's not what martial arts is really about. Martial arts is really about learning how to use the physical body to its maximum aspect. And Tai Chi, Xing Yi, Bagua, all the internal styles actually have that. They literally do have that. That's why when you see other practitioners, other people who use different types of skill, you can see the energy when in the good ones. People are like, oh shit, that looks exactly like my blah, blah, blah. Damn. And he looks exactly like my master who actually was in military, who used it that way. Yeah, because you only have 2 arms and 2 legs. You only have 2 arms and 2 legs. So therefore, stuff is going to look the same. Now granted, it may look the same, but energetically, it may be totally different. Case in point, you have 2 different boxers. One may throw a hook and another one may throw a hook. One may throw a hook and the hook just hits and that's it. Another one may throw a hook and every time he throws a hook, person blacks out. It's all about physics. What you guys need to understand is that it's about work. Don't throw out your martial arts because you get beat by somebody. There's always going to be someone who has your number. Whether it be in combat or whether it be in sport. Just practice, and practice hard. Practice really hard, trying to understand it. You're not going to perfect it all, and you're not going to perfect it over a couple of years. It's going to take years. Years. And different types of practitioners practicing with you, both much bigger than you to much smaller than you. You're going to find difficulty in people Whether they be smaller, whether they be bigger, whether they be the same size as you. That's the whole point. We're supposed to be joining hands together, working on these higher level skills so that we can get to those imagined skill levels. And they do exist. Doesn't matter whether you don't believe it or not. No one cares whether you believe it or not. They do exist. There are people that can hit you and you will die. And it's not a bunch of things, and it's not a big deal either. Because granted, if you can fall and hit your temple on the side of a table, then why can't someone hit you in your temple and kill you? Doesn't make sense. And what if somebody has an art form that all it's about is applying that type of pressure to those certain types of areas? Well, you wouldn't see them in a sport. You wouldn't see them in a sport. No, you'd never see them in a sport. No. You can go to jail for the rest of your life for killing people. Because martial arts truly, in the beginning, was about combat and actually trying to really seriously, kill someone. Go figure. It wasn't a sport. A bunch of people didn't know your combat. A bunch of people didn't know your skill level. They didn't know what you fought with. No one recorded your skill level, to record your fights so that they could study your skill. No, there was none of that. A fight lasted about 30 seconds, and either you got your ass beat and the person allowed you to live, or you were dead. That's simple. Or vice versa. But the reality of this is, it's really trying to understand the training of it. The 45 degree, boom, here. Boom, here. Boom, here. And you see, I'm not using my arms, I'm using my legs. When he comes to come in, I angle. I angle. Boom. It's quite simple. But you're so busy trying to fight. This is what you're doing. He comes in. Yeah, no, there's no way. There's no way. There's no way. That's the young style aspect of it. This is the first video we're putting, and this is for young style. So check this out. I'm going to wait until maybe tomorrow or the day after, and we're going to do Wu style and Chen style sensing hands. That will be in the tournament too. So you guys can check that out. Love and peace. Woo! Till next time.